I just finished making a video on, like an intro video on the vlog. And yes, I do plan on spending time with God before I sleep. Before I sleep, I do plan on spending time with God. But I don't know, I feel like making this video, it's been on my list of videos to make. And I don't know, I feel like talking about it right now. Yeah, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about my acne journey and my experience with acne and how God has helped me in this journey and where I'm at today. And yeah, just that whole thing. Let's talk about it. Like a preteen and then a teenager, I would have my family tell me that, just scrub your face. Scrub your face really hard, it'll help. Or use sunlight soap, it'll help. Wash your face like this. Do this with your face. Do that with your face. It'll help, it'll help, it'll help. And at that point in my life, I didn't care. I don't know truly if the things that they said would work at that point. I didn't do them because I'm like, you're being silly. It also didn't make sense to me when they would say scrub your face because it's like I am breaking out and you're telling me to scrub it. I feel like that's just gonna make it worse and make my face red. So I don't want to do that. But at the same time, it's not that I had these illogical, answers for why I didn't want to do that. It was more of a like, I don't want to do it because it's just so much work. I didn't care. I really, really didn't care. It was probably when I started breaking out a bit more. I think like around, let me just put a picture here on the screen. Around this time when I took this picture, that's when I started really noticing that, okay, my skin is a bit of an issue and I don't really like it. And I started to feel insecure about it because I realized it was kind of getting a bit excessive. Before it was like, okay, I've got pimples here and it kind of like how I do now, where it's a mild case and it's nothing severe. But at that point in my life, it was kind of like severe and getting to a point where it was severe. So yeah, I got on birth control. That was for my own personal reasons. I got on birth control. And then from there, it helped my skin so much. I fell in love with it because it just helped my skin. I was glowing. I was glowing. I felt so at peace. Birth control gets, of course, the side effects, but the fact that my skin was looking so good and it had been the best it had ever been in my life, I was happy with it. And I didn't want to get off birth control solely for that reason until sometime during me using birth control, my skin went back to normal of like the acne breakout.
Editing Tanisha here, and I'm trying to look for the pictures of this happening. I swear it happened, but then at the same time, as I'm going through the pictures, I'm like, okay, maybe my skin wasn't so bad, and maybe the acne wasn't so severe as I thought it was. But I never actually believed it was like so severe until a dermatologist told me I had severe acne. So obviously there'd be times I'd be too insecure to like take pictures and everything. But at the same time, I love taking pictures. So I don't have anything to show you guys basically.
But it wasn't so much, but it started off like a mild case and then it kind of just, got severe and it was really bad and I started feeling insecure about it. And my now husband, right? I was going through this journey with him by that point, and oh, my sweetheart, he would give me a lot of reassurance and everything, but I kind of still felt very insecure about it. So in the end, I started doing like all this different stuff to try and get my skin to act right. One of the things that I found very helpful though from my DIYs was tomatoes. I have learned that tomatoes work really, really well for my face. And I don't know, it's something I still think about getting into. However, I feel like it's something I probably want to do when my husband and I are like living alone, like that. And we have our own place and everything. I think I want to do that whole experiment then, but until then, I'm just not going to do it. And there's a lot of other DIYs that I want to try out and stuff like that. But during that phase, I started practicing DIYs basically to try and fix my skin because I just felt so insecure. And then I went to Discam and I asked the pharmacist that was there, like, please, can you just give me something for my skin? Help me out. Nothing is working. He gave me something that I would make a paste with that I would like use as a mask, that I would like use as a mask every day to try and help my skin. And it did nothing. It did nothing. It basically had the same results as like the other stuff I was practicing, like water, ice, things like that. It didn't do. And I got like even face washes that were supposed to be good, but it just did not help. So yeah, then in the end of all that, he was like, okay, listen, there's a dermatologist who visits this town, but there was a dermatologist that would visit, I think, twice a month, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's twice a month or every other week or once. I think it was twice a month he would visit. So he told me, speak with this guy, he will be able to help you out. You probably need a dermatologist because nothing is working, my guy. I'm like, okay, fine. I get in contact with the dermatologist, I make an appointment, and then the next visit I was able to go and have an appointment there. And he told me that, I have severe acne, and then we did some tests. We did like a blood test or something to try and find out like how best to give me medicine to help me out and stuff like that. I assume that's what he was doing to try and figure out, okay, what is wrong with this girl? Is there anything happening internally that we need to be aware of before we give her this treatment, and stuff. So I did that, and then as I waited, he was like, okay, use this soap and get this lotion, and I don't remember if at the same time, but I think so. At the same time, he gave me this, or he told me to buy this. Let me try and make it. Yeah, can't really see it nicely. But yeah, he told me to buy this thing, and I did get it along with like other products as well. So he also encouraged me to switch my birth control to something else. I think I did, if I'm not mistaken, or I just stayed on the same one. I'm not sure. I think I did change it though. And then once the test results came out, he mentioned that, okay, I need to cut back on like oily stuff. You tried to explain it to me, but I feel like it went in one ear and out the other. And I was like, okay, I need to cut back on margarine because I love margarine. It's not that I loved at the time. I did try to cut back on it. I don't eat as much anymore, but it's still something I love, honestly. I can't deny it. Anyway, yeah. Then he put me on Accutane. He gave me a double dose of Accutane. That's what I went on. I took it for 6 months, and the side effects were intense. My skin was glowing, guys. Like truly, truly speaking, my skin was glowing. I was happy. I finally felt like confident in myself and at peace with myself because I'm like, finally, my skin is, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Everything is okay. That's amazing. And yet the side effects were also just making me feel insecure because chapped lips were a thing. Like let's be honest, yeah. Chapped lips were a thing. With Accutane, it dries out your skin and stuff. So that's like basically Accutane equals to dry. You just go through a dry season of your life. And ladies, when I mean dry, I mean dry. It can affect that as well. Yeah. Anyway, that's for married ladies, by the way. It's a Christian channel here. Anyway, so my lips suffered, my skin suffered. I ended up getting, I think it was Cetaphil and Dove. Those are the two products that truly, truly helped my skin. They were so moisturizing and I absolutely loved them. And then what else happened? Hair loss. My hair was just falling out of my head, guys. It was falling out. And here's the thing, because I was in a DIY phase around that time period, remember when I said I did all that with my skin? I was also experimenting with my hair as well because at that point I did the big chop. Yeah. And in that season, I had a lot of dandruff. Like before that, throughout my entire life, I had dandruff. And then one day I found out, like, okay, onion juice can help with hair growth. My hair is short enough to put onion juice in it and rinse it out and everything. So let me do that. When I did all that, onion juice literally got rid of the dandruff. And I was shocked. I was amazed and I was happy. I didn't have dandruff. I felt like, wow, I, I unlocked a cheat code here. It was amazing. It was nice until I went on Accutane. The dandruff came back. I haven't used onion juice in a way that I did at that point to try and get it, like to get rid of the dandruff again because my hair is longer now. And if I use onion juice, it's going to smell and just be hard to get out of my hair. So I don't want to do that right now. But we'll put a pin in it, Maybe again when my husband and I are living alone, so I don't have to be worried about who else is smelling. Although he also doesn't like the smell, and that's another reason I don't do it because I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to deal with the smell. I know he doesn't want to deal with the smell, so I think I can handle the dandruff. Okay, I found something that actually helps with my scalp, so that's what I'm using instead. Let me actually bring it. It's this. It's the Soften Free brand. Helps a lot. It helps with my skin. Okay, not my skin, my scalp. It helps with my scalp a lot. So yeah, what else was going through? What else was I going through during that time? Mainly those things. I think the impactful thing was the hair loss. It was terrible. It was traumatic. It was traumatic. I would literally just, put my hand through my hair and hair would just fall out. Anytime I wash my hair would just fall out. It was the absolute worst experience. And then he was supposed to come back one point and I wanted to get like an extended dose because he said we're going to be doing this for like 6 months, right? And then he was like, okay, but here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a prescription every like 2 months, I think. I think it was like every 2 months I had to get like an updated prescription, or was it every month? I'm not sure, but that's what I had to do, and also to like check the progress and everything. So he didn't come one specific month, and I was like, dude, I need a prescription, and if you're not gonna give it to me, I'm gonna have to go to someone else. And then I went to someone else. I went to a different doctor, just a normal doctor, like a family friend. I went to him. I explained the situation to him, and then I asked him about the side effects. I'm like, listen, these are the side effects I am like experiencing. Can you please help me through this because I am losing my mind. And then he was like, okay, I don't know too much about Accutane. Let me do some research on it and calculate this and that and find out your weight and do this and that and that. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then he finds out to say, wait a second, you have actually been overdosed with Accutane. I was like, what? What do you mean I've been overdosed? He's like, yeah, that's why you're experiencing all the side effects so excessively. Because I knew after getting into Accutane that the side effects are real. This is what happens, and people talked about it. But mine was so excessive because I was given a high dose, and I wasn't supposed to be on that dose. I don't know if the dermatologist had intended for me to be on the dose in like the first month or two, and then reduce the dose, or if it was just like the double dose throughout those 6 months. I don't know. But after the doctor told me that, we reduced my dosage back to one tablet a day. Was it one tablet a day? Or I don't remember how often it was, but it was one tablet. I was on two tablets and then it was one tablet. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you so much. And sheesh, it helped. It helped. Reducing the dose helped. I slowly got back into it and everything, but it was it was a lot. I think I fully recovered the health of my body, like my body not being so dry and my hair not falling out so much, when it was months after Accutane left my system. And when it did leave my system, I kind of had a pimple here and there. I wasn't mad about it because it was like, from somebody who has experienced severe acne, having a pimple here and there wasn't a big deal anymore. It was just like, what, I've had worse. I don't mind. Although I did have a fear to be like, okay, if the If I have a pimple here and there, does this mean that it's going to return? Is the severe acne going to return? I still struggled with like confidence in myself, honestly. But yeah, I think I want to talk more about what exactly is accutane. Anyway, fast forward now to a point where God convicted me of taking birth control. Yeah, he was like, "Girl, get off it." I'm like, okay, sir, you're right." I got off birth control, and when I did, it was like it was even a bigger toll on my body because first it was getting off Accutane. Mind you, we're just focusing on the skin here. It was getting off Accutane. My body's like kind of adjusting to all that. And then after that, it was like birth control. When you stop birth control, it doesn't mean that it's leaving your system instantly. It still takes a couple of months for it to completely get out of your system. So even though I stopped taking birth control and my skin was kind of like getting back to normal, um, my skin, I just like had pimples here and there, whatever. But then my skin started breaking out a bit more once I realized that, okay, it's been a couple of months now. I can tell that I am officially, like, I officially have birth control out of my system. Because you can also notice, like, I also started to notice the difference in myself and like the hormones and everything. Because acne, what I have learned is that it's an internal thing. It's an internal thing, and it has to do with hormones. It has to do with what's happening inside your body, not necessarily what is happening outside. Yes, you can do your best to take care of the outside, but what is important is taking care of the inside. And for me, birth control was helping with the hormones. So when I got off birth control as well, my hormones were like all over the place because birth control was regulating the hormones. Getting off birth control was like, okay, hormones are back to square one of like, yeah, we're going to be all over the place type of thing. And I had to like deal with that mentally and emotionally. And then how I noticed it was like affecting me and it's really real was when my acne just returned. I started breaking out. I got back to normal. It was like mild acne. And up until this day, it's been mild acne. It has not been as severe as that time period, but it has just been like mild. And what I realized was like, okay, you know what? I don't want to be dealing with this again. And I don't want to get back on Accutane. I don't want to get back on birth control. Those are the things I don't want to do at this point in my life. But I ended up buying like this product that I showed you and I would use it here and there. I got face washes, I got moisturizers and everything. At one point, my sister-in-law gave me like some good skincare products. I was using those as well. But what I realized really works as well is just like washing my face, doing my best to take care of myself. But it just feels like nothing is working. It just feels like nothing is working. So this product does help a lot. That's why I ended up getting it again recently so that it can help me. But at the same time, yeah, that is where I'm at basically. That is where I am at. Where it's like I am somebody that has acne, guys. It's not the best feeling under the sun and I am still learning to love myself. I am still learning to love my skin. I think what is the hardest part for me right now is just to kind of regulate my hormones and deal with what's happening internally to take care of the externally. And right now, I'm just like, I'm going to take care of the externally so that I don't lose my mind. But at the same time, I also need to take care of the internally. And I'm trying to do that as best as I can. And I think I do want to do more research on this as I enter, feminine, as I enter, the whole womanhood, the feminism and stuff like that. I want to do better in taking care of this area of my life. What I want to share with you is that I do feel insecure about my skin. Okay, acne is just not something I get on my face, guys. I have had back acne. I have had acne. I have had acne just throughout my whole body. Like not excessively throughout my whole body, like the butt, the back, and my face have been my three problematic areas. The rest of my body is like a pimple here, a pimple there, and everything. But I I am somebody that experiences acne, and it has been it has just been something that is part of my life, and it has brought me to a place of insecurity. That is the raw honest fact about it, is that I feel insecure. I feel insecure, and you know, being in a time period where I look at people on social media and they have glass skin. I remember I was there when the glass skin was the number one aesthetic, the goal and everything. And I was nowhere near that. No matter how hard I tried, I could not get to that point. And what it took for me to get to that point was also mentally destroying me. Because, mind you, during the era of birth control and accutane, when they were working well, my skin was gorgeous. My skin was really, really good. And yeah, it was at the cost of my mental health. My hair was falling out. My body was just going through some dry season in its life that I've never experienced. And on top of that, guys, birth control, yeah, it helps with birth control, but at the same time, there are so many side effects to taking birth control. Okay, it messes you up mentally and emotionally as well. And I experienced that as well. I knew when I was off, like when birth control left my system, when I felt like my mind was open. That's how I knew. Okay, I don't have birth control in my system anymore because I just felt like I could think more clearly. It was a crazy experience. It's something I am still battling up until this day. It is something I am still battling. I think one of the hardest things I am experiencing with it is that I I'm looking at myself a lot more, and I'm looking at people on the internet and I'm comparing myself to them, and I'm not feeling the best. I feel like, honestly, if I'm being honest, I do not feel like I am as secure in God as I should be. And what I will admit is that I am fixating on my external experience, on my external appearance, rather than what is in my heart, what is what is with like my relationship with God. I'm not thinking about those things as much as I am thinking about my skin and the acne. And perhaps when it's under control, I will feel a bit more better and more confident and better able to approach different areas in my life. But when it's in my face, you know what? It reminds me of that saying that's like, guys, when you have a big problem, remember that you have a bigger God. And I think that's something I want to start practicing and understanding, is that my God is bigger, and definitely I'm going to be praying about this. I think I want to start praying about it a bit more to be like, Lord, please take away this acne. And if you don't, please help me through this journey, because I cannot anymore. I can't. I really can't. So yeah, that is where I'm at. And I want to grow secure in God, and I think I want to shift the focus from myself to Him and focus on who He is. And the thing is, guys, they say that Jesus wasn't beautiful. You know, I doubt Jesus had glass clear skin. Maybe if he did, okay. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what else to say. That is just where I'm at mentally, and when it comes to the whole acne situation, that is where I am at, and that is my intention and my approach from now onwards. I think what I also want to share is that if you have acne too, or if you have some skin issues, I just want to reassure you that you are not alone. You are most certainly not alone, because I understand it too. And trust me when I say there are other people in this world that understand it too. And the fact that God has put on my heart to talk about this means that God understands it too. And let's not forget that God is a father and we are his children. And let's not forget actually that the Lord created us. He created us. He made us the way we are. He definitely factored in that I would have acne at one point in my life. She would have acne. She would go through this experience. I think one thing I want to remain being hopeful about is that one day I will look back at this and be like, this is my testimony. This is my story to say that no, the Lord didn't heal me from my acne, but He has brought in treatments. He has allowed me to be exposed to different treatments and different experiences to help get rid of the acne, to help me understand my body a bit better. He didn't completely take it away from me, but he did allow me to have money to buy products to help me with what I'm going through. He did help me to get to a place where I understand my body a bit better. He did help me to understand myself as a woman.
And this is crazy though, but as I'm editing, I'm realizing that this testimony that I'm hopeful for one day I will talk about is actually what I have been talking about in this video. I may not be 100% fully understanding where I'm at in this journey with acne and being confident in it and everything, but I am at a point where I have accomplished some sort of understanding. I have come to some trust and confidence in God, and it's not much as I would like it to be, but it is there, and it's baby steps truly. So I encourage you to also appreciate the small wins in life. This is a small win, and perhaps this is also a testimony video.
And God brought me to a place when it comes to acne to understand that yes, it sucks. It is one of the worst things that you can experience as like there's a lot of bad things happening in this world, but acne is also something that can take a crazy toll on a person's mental health. It is real, and war is taking place. That is true, but at the same time there's still also real problems like acne, like having acne. It is also a real problem and it sucks. And I want to share that when you experience acne, when you experience any skin problem, when you experience anything to do with insecurity, yes, do not feel ashamed about it. It is real and you are experiencing in it. You are experiencing it and it is real, and there's nothing wrong with you. You are God's child. He made you. He factored all this in when He made you. And I want to share with you that God may not take it away, or He may pray about it. But at the same time, God may also open doors for you to get access to different treatments that can help you through this. Or He may allow for this to be a lesson in your life. Or He may allow for this to be a testimony where you actually help other people as well. At the end of the day, there is God's glory in all this. This is something I am going through. This is real and it is a real issue to me. And I don't want to feel like I don't want to get to a place like this, and I don't want to get to a place like this where it's like you want to feel ashamed about it or belittle yourself to be like, there's worse problems in this world. Why am I feeling so insecure about this? Like there are worse problems in the world. Why am I feeling insecure about this? At the end of the day, there are always going to be problems happening around the world. And this problem is an issue for you. It is real. If you want to do something about it, definitely do it and work on bettering yourself. As a woman, especially, we need to take care of ourselves. And what I have expressed before on this channel is that our bodies speak to us. Acne also is a sign of something happening internally. It means that something is wrong, or I don't know if wrong is, yeah, something is going on in your body. Something is happening inside your body. Something is not balanced. Something. I don't understand the whole entire situation about acne and stuff like that, or how accutane works, or how acne works. I don't understand the full process, but what I do know is that it is a sign of something happening internally. And sometimes when you get pimples, like normally, if I'm not mistaken, if you get pimples like in a certain area of your face or of your body, it means that there's something happening inside your body in a specific area, you know? So you need to take note of these things and also take note of like your hormones. Take like as a woman, you just really need to understand that that's something I have learned and I am still learning is that I am not as young as I used to be, and I can't keep treating myself like I'm as young as I used to be. If I'm not drinking water the entire day, my body will show that it has not been fed water. It has not been given water. And if I do not sleep, if I do not get enough sleep, my body will show it is not getting enough sleep. I will not show up better in life if I do not get enough sleep. You are growing up. I am growing up. We're all growing up here. And we need to give our bodies the respect it deserves. Okay? That's another thing I want to talk about actually is setting boundaries. You know, I think I have mentioned before about setting boundaries in life and understanding that Jesus also has set boundaries in life. But what I do want to share is that you should also learn to set boundaries with yourself. It is important to do that. For example, on my end, I love sweet things, guys. I have a sweet tooth. And I grew up like that. Honestly speaking, I grew up like that. The only issue was that I wasn't taught to brush my teeth twice a day. I wasn't taught like um I wasn't taught to understand a lot about my teeth and the hygiene and taking care of like I wasn't taught much about dental health. And so that left me in a position where I went through a lot with my teeth. Maybe I'll talk about that one day, but not right now. Basically, I went through a lot with my teeth, and I realized that, you know what? I am old enough to understand that this is something I need to learn, and I am old enough to understand that I need to make better practices when it comes to the health of my teeth. I can't keep saying, "Oh, I didn't grow up understanding." Like, no, I understand now, and because I understand now, I need to do better and be better. So I am trying, like, especially recently, I have been trying to get back into brushing my teeth at night. And it started off as just like brushing my teeth at night and trying to be consistent with that to like, okay, let me get back into flossing and brushing my teeth at night and being consistent with all that because my body deserves it. You know, I deserve to treat myself with that kind of respect and love. I'm not getting any younger. My teeth are also growing with me, you know what I mean? So I can't keep eating sweets like it's not a big deal. When I feel that toothache, yeah, that's how I know something is going on. I need to take better care of myself. So that's just an example I want to share with you. So, with that being said, I think I will end the video here. I just want to say thank you for watching today's video. If you can relate, please do share in the comments. It is a safe space here where we are just talking about this stuff together. You are not alone, okay? I just want you to know that you are not alone and you are beautiful. You are made in the image of God. Let us never forget that. And at the end of the day, what is important is the fact that Jesus died for you. He died for your sins. Jesus doesn't look at your acne and think you are the most ugliest human being alive. No. Jesus looks at you and says you are his child. He says you are his beautiful child and he loves you just the way you are. He understands what you are going through, the problems that you are facing, and he wants to walk through all those problems with you. He doesn't want you to ever feel alone, especially in this insecurity. At the end of the day, you are encouraged to turn to him and be secure in him. Be secure in him above all. Yeah, that was made for someone, and I also think I needed to hear that as well. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for more.